Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. Good evening. You know, sadly, another one of us have died under questionable circumstances. You know, in most cases, when it's at the hands of another outside of us killing each other, the circumstances will always be questionable. Always. And it's partially our own fault. Excuse me. Our own fault. At the onset of this discussion, let me say something I've said at least a dozen times. You ain't got no friends. It's only me, you, and God. That's all you got. The whole idea that in 2026 and in the face of what we're witnessing going on, you are still dying under questionable circumstances that you have put yourself in. Questionable circumstances that you have put yourselves in. You know, everything in this country is about race and gender these days. I mean, it's a literal war on more levels than you think. On more levels than you think. I keep saying, how do you think? How do you talk about anything without talking about race? When the entire history and the foundation is built on race, it would drive someone sane insane. It would drive someone sane insane to even entertain a discussion about anything in this country that ain't based on race or don't recognize it. That would be insane. And we won't be doing that tonight. We won't be doing that tonight, and we're going to be going at the heart of the matter. So gird yourselves. Gird yourselves. Young men, what is it about you being black and male and the only black male in a sea of white that is attractive to you? How many of you must die like that under questionable circumstances? You die in the woods, you die in the water, you die on the fishing pier. Damn. I mean, at some point I have to ask, what's wrong with you? Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of a white man dying surrounded by his group of black friends? Have you? Have you? The short answer is no. And the shorter answer is you probably won't. Now, what do your white counterpart know that you don't know? And why do you keep putting yourselves in these situations? And this what brings up things like interracial relationships. People have given it, man, listen here, dude. Listen, you need to live. Listen, you need to live. And I'm trying to be nice here. But in at least half the cases, that's the reason why. You are willing to put your life in danger like your forefathers. I mean, I'm not talking, man, you know how many of you have died for the pleasure? I mean, look it up. And where do you think you live? And where did this happen, in Mississippi or Alabama or something? What is wrong with you? If you should be, I'm trying to find the words here. You should be slightly alarmed whenever you find yourself anywhere in the South and you are the only black amongst anything, any group of anything. I mean, who the fuck do you think you are? How many of you have to die? How many of you have to die? Everybody is talking except his friends, okay? Except the same friends who seen him alive. For those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, I don't want to call the young man's name. I really don't, because it's family. And think, man, listen, I'm gonna say things that others won't say. This 2026, don't let them love you. You're it. You are it. When are you gonna act like it? When are you going to act like it? When are you gonna see the common thread? When are you going I mean, I view you this way. You are the victim, and they are the irregular soldiers of white supremacy. You should consider every last one of them the irregular soldiers of white supremacy. Like they need uniforms. Their great grandfather them wore long dresses called robes and hid their faces under hoodies, under hoodies, as they torched everybody, drawn and quartered everybody, raped everybody, murdered everybody. What's that other technique they used to use? They would hook four horses to the four, I mean, two to your wrist, and each wrist, and one horse each on your hind legs, and just pull your asses apart in front of your families. I don't understand. Will someone enlighten me? Someone enlighten me. How many of you must die like that? What haven't they found you dead at? Huh? And these very people have turned all their Facebook pages and comment sections onto private, while the police are saying that we're doing everything possible to come to some kind of conclusion. Well, have you talked? And I'm not going to tell them how to do their job. I know how this small town stuff work. My point is, what's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. There was nothing wrong with them in 1775. There was nothing wrong with with them in 1825. There was nothing wrong with them in 1900. There was nothing wrong with them in 1965. There was damn sure nothing wrong with them in 1973. There's nothing wrong with them today. What I mean is, when have they not killed your ass like this? When? When? If there is proximity, then you will die. That part is natural. That part is normal in the United States for hundreds of years. But here's what's wrong. Goodness gracious. I thought you grew out of it. I thought you grew out of it. How are you still the only black person on a boat? The only black person going hunting with four white guys? I mean, I don't understand. Is your need to fit so great that you're willing to risk your lives and it blinds you? Is your need for sexual and racial intersectionality, is that so great that it's worth your life for? Are you still blinded? Again, under normal circumstances, this too ain't my business. But I say to myself, I'm missing something here. I'm looking at three generations of young men who have been raised by not men. I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean that most of us are born to women who are not married, and we don't have fathers like that. That's what I'm trying to say. And because of that, certain knowledge is not being passed down. So let me pass some knowledge down to your ass. You are not a woman. You don't let that sink in, and everything that means. Think a minute, man. Let that sink in, because women come born with certain protective gear. I'm not talking about sex either. It's all built in. The point is, you're not. That's rule number one. Rule number two, your ass is black. And you've been black a long time. You've been black since Adam. They were trying to kill Adam, and they're trying to kill your ass. okay? Whoever they may be, it should not matter. It shouldn't matter who's trying to kill you. What matter is something or someone is trying to kill you, and you keep falling into the same flame. So at some point, I have to question what's wrong with you. May I reiterate, you ain't got no friends. It's me, you, and God. That's all. That's worth repeating. Me, you, and God. You have no friends. You are it. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? Maybe that's the problem. They know who you are, but we're gonna get back to that. And not you being you, knowing what's going on, even on at a contemporary man, at a contemporary that word, I chose the wrong contemporaneous level. I mean, you can't escape that you're being murdered everywhere under questionable circumstances, even in the last 3 years, the last 2 years, the last 4 years, the last 5 years. You don't have to look far. What I mean is that it's happened in your lifetime, and yet some of you keep winding up dead under questionable circumstances, just like the last guys. You being found um, all on mountaintops. You been found swinging from ropes. God knows everywhere. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, you are a soft target. A soft target. Know what a soft target is? A mark. Anyway, any predator can notice the soft target. The shit. The one who never looks up, never's aware of their freaking surroundings. The one or the worst kind, the one that fall in love with every girl he bump into. Those are always dangerous and vulnerable. Soft target. Soft target. The fearful, soft target. The lustful, soft target. Okay? The proud, soft target. The prideful, soft target. Anything that can be manipulated in your life to the point that it moves your asses around makes you a soft target. Vulnerable, soft target. If you're going to be a soft target, at least understand. At least understand what I'm trying to say here. It could cost you your life. No one loves you. Who the hell do you think loves you? And why? They do you see what's going on here? Do you see what's going on here, sir? Young man, young lady, do you see what's going the the perpetrator of their fears and their worst nightmare happens to look just like you. So I ask again, who the fuck do you think you are? He looks like you. What do you think that means to them and to you? What do you think that means? See, I got hocus pocus. You ain't got no hocus pocus. See the difference? They can't get to God, so they're going to kick your ass. Are you getting it now? They can't get to God and kick his ass, and I got hocus pocus. You have nothing but, at best, a firearm. People die with their pistols in their hands every day. Every day. But those aren't the ones that we're talking about, man. A dead man holding a pistol is a dead man holding a pistol. We've seen that shit over and over and over and over. And that just goes to show pistols don't keep your asses alive. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about gangster shit. We ain't talking about thug shit. In fact, we're not even talking about poor shit. We're not talking about inner city shit. We're talking about middle class, young black male, I mean, from subdivisions or diversity, getting their asses murdered because their neighbors are white. I told you we're going to go right at the source of the issue here. Going to being 2% of the white high school, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and somehow their parents believed, and I understand, but their parents believed that it was better to raise them in that environment versus the inner city environment. But there are consequences to the trade-off. Consequences to the trade-off. And sometimes they result with some of us getting killed. Getting killed. There's nothing wrong with them. There's something wrong with you. Let me say this again. I looked throughout their history. I looked throughout their history before they were even on the shores of America. They've always murdered. You are the proper vent. But before that, they were killing each other to the point that a good chunk of them were way, way less than an aristocracy. I'm trying to be nice here. We're not talking about people who come from aristocratic stock here. No, you're talking about the people who hail from the stock of inmates and convicts and murderers and rapists. Most of these countries emptied out their jails for them to come over here and settle America. They were criminal, not all of them, but a good chunk of them, with the same rights and the same privileges as those of them who did not have such criminal baggage, meaning they were allowed to have children. Some of them would later become your plantation owners. But where did they start out at? Killing each other in Britain, killing each other in France, killing each other in Poland, killing each other all over frickin' Europe, largely because they couldn't access anybody else. But the moment that they could, they went to killing everybody else, including your black ass. And you got the worst end of it of all. Enslavement, murder, rape, homosexual rape, hangings, cannibalism, floated in gravy. I mean, your blood bathed in. I can go down a list of things that's been done to you. So once again, what am I missing here? It seems like you would be afraid. But there you are in the middle of a photo surrounded by nothing but not you. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had white friends. But let me just tell you what happened to all of my white friends. At some point, they had to be white. In other words, it was either become a part of the social order or get the fuck out of it. And you can be a part of it when you're having Thanksgiving dinner at your black friend's mama's house. You get what I'm saying? You can't be a part of the social construct, especially when they're going to take on a white wife and bear very real white children in the South. Well, let's just say it's going to put a strain on the friendship. And did. All the three white friends disappeared over time. That's normal. That's normal, actually. No harm and no foul. But you need to understand something, young men, particularly young men. You're it. You think they just killing you? You selfish. You think they just killing you? Dude, mm-mm. Your your self-esteem is set way too low. They're not just killing you. They they are killing your future son and your future grandsons and your future great grandsons. They've wiped out an entire bloodline. You freaking idiot. They are taking you out in your most productive years. Your most productive between 18 and 45. Are you getting it now? Bucko, I didn't mean to call you Bucko, but when you start to act like a Bucko, I know you act like a Bucko because you're so comfortable around them while they busy trying to kill you. And you still telling yourself, well, there's a difference between that one and that one. Perhaps so, perhaps not, but you don't know. And all it takes is for you not to know one time. And then you get lost. Okay? You've been killed in the water. You've been killed in the woods. You've been killed on fishing piers, on the tops of fucking mountains, swung from ropes in parks, not the park, less than 100 yards from the police station. I mean, you've been swung, I mean, it's a regular field day. It's a regular field day. I suggest that you take the time out, the living amongst you, and look at the faces of the dead. Go back 5 years and look at the faces of the dead young people and look at what they have in common. Look for what the dead have in common. The ones who they found dead. What do they have in common? I'm not going to tell you this one. You need to go look for yourself. And then once you've figured it out, and I think you're smart enough to figure it out, okay? Then ask yourselves why. Why is it that you are targeted? Don't get me wrong, females are dead. Females, I hate females. Women and young ladies are dead today. But even they have something in common with the dead young men. What? Look for the common feature, people. Look for the common feature because it's right the fuck there. And when you see it, then ask yourself why. This one is gonna get a little bit more fucking personal for you because there's all kinds of black people, but seemingly they're only targeting you. Now, as you as you would look at that, as you would look at that, I want you to understand something. This country, once they found out who you were, not all of you, well, yeah, all of you, but they took an extreme fear and interest in the tribe of Judah or the house of Judah, which is it makes up several other tribes. Okay, but there is a lead tribe, the one of influence who made up the tribe of Levi and the people who had a direct link with God himself. All of that is in Judah. So forever since you got here and they figured it out, they've been trying to separate Judah from the rest of the house of Israel like forever. In this country, that's classified information. Don't tell them I told you. That's classified information. So, what am I trying to say here? What am I trying to say? You're it. You are it, okay? And quite frankly, you are of absolutely no use to us dead. As long as your ass alive, you have some use. But damn. And again, we die. We die. Nobody is more of an expert at dying than black people. We are experts at it, professionals at it. Professionals. That's for sure. Professionals in all facets of death. That's a fact. But I'm just saying, don't be a soft target. Don't stop. Don't be a soft target. Most certainly don't put yourself in situations. Don't nobody love you. What them people been telling you? Has anyone told you that they loved you? Has anyone told you this? I mean, I'm curious because most of us as black, well, I can make this statement. Most of us as black people have not been told that we're loved. That's just a fact. So I ask, Have someone told you that they love your ass? And if it was it your parents? Outside of your parents, most certainly no one has told you that. Yet you believe that based on some kind of social order, based partially on race and partially on economics in terms of you being middle class, that you can just go frolic on the beach with people who don't look like you, who have a history of killing you. Up to this day, are you special? Are you special? See, this is not about the other. This is about you. They've always been them. I've already taken you back to Britain. I can take you all the way back to the Dark Ages, the Golden Age and the Gilded Age. They were they were murderers then, murderous, not murderers, but as a culture. Okay, in other words, it's just what they do. There's nothing abnormal about what they're doing if you look at it in terms of history. How far back do you want to go? The Romans? The Greeks? They did it too. They did it too. Now, let's get back to reality of now, though. Don't be a soft target. Don't be vulnerable. And please understand you ain't got no friends, good Lord. Don't nobody like you. You understand this here? Are you blind? What is your cell phone for? How's all this information getting by you? I know it's getting by you because the other, option is you have the information and you're being overruled by your growing, by your need for interaction with people who don't look like you, who have never told you that they love your ass. Never have they said, I'm going to be loyal to you. Never have they said, I'm like you. You can't be socialized along the lines that the other is socialized because you don't share the same history. You have a shared history, then there's their history, and then there's your history. And your shared history is one of savagery, bestial behavior, murder, rape, mayhem, and carnage. Will you act like it? What's wrong with you? Damn, dude, young lady, but you too, but not as much. She seems to be a little bit smarter than you in terms of she recognizes bullshit quicker than you do. I'm looking at photo, man, listen, I don't even want to describe the picture. I don't even want to describe the picture. Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen, I'm going to say this again, Mr. and Mrs. Middle Class and their fucking children. You don't have to like this. We're at war. They're not going to stop to ask anything about your preferences and your politics and how you look at life or the issues of race. Your child will be dead. Your child will be dead. And the whole system of injustice is going to do everything possible to make sure nothing happens. Period. Why? Because they're cultured that way and they're tribal and they look like each other and it's to be expected. They're normal. You're not normal. You're not acting normal. Okay? You're not acting normal. I'm not upset. But damn, I'm tired of you dying under questionable circumstances. I mean, damn, it's a whole freaking category. Unsolved murders. No one knows exactly the whole story. Homicide. Yeah, but what really happened? Man, we don't really know. They just found him over there. They they found him. I guess they found him over there. And then everything then goes hush. The 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 system kicks into gear. Ask yourselves why. You know, we're going to wrap this one up quick. It sounds like I'm fussing at my kids. My them kids would be, I mean, by this time, they would have a shoulder on the wall, one of their, feet flat on the floor, the other on his toes as they looked up at the ceiling and rolled their eyes at me. Looked at the ceiling and just rolled their eyes at me. Girls. Damn girls. Yeah. That's what they will be doing right now. Rolling their eyes. Like, will you just hurry up and finish and shut the fuck up so we can go upstairs? Shit, we want to go upstairs. Anyway, man, listen, I'm tired of saying be careful. So let's put it this way. Stop being a soft ass target. Don't be a soft target. I mean, you are a target when you wake up in the morning. You don't have to be a soft one, and you don't have to have a weapon to be a hard target. That don't mean that you have to be armed. That means you have to accept reality and become aware that shit wants to kill you. It changes everything. It changes everything once you understand this. And you understand this by looking at how many who look like you have already been killed in the last 5 years under questionable circumstances and don't think, man, can you do math? Can you do math? Listen, for every black young man who was murdered under questionable circumstances, death removes that person from the list. And guess what? You next in line. You somewhere up you somewhere up that line. Okay? They're not replacing themselves like that. It takes 15 years to replace a person. Birth them in them is just the easy part. Keeping them alive another 15 is expensive. And sometimes it just don't work out. So you can't be playing fucking catch up here. No, you have to understand now. You're it. And they're not just killing you, you selfish brat. They're not trying to kill you. They're trying to do what I would do. In your ass forever. Wipe out the whole motherfucking bloodline. His future son. His grandsons. His great-grandsons. Are you getting it now? You are at war. Whether you want to be at war or not, this will keep your ass alive. If you just understand this, you're at war. You don't have to like it. You don't have to, man, it's going to keep your asses alive. And you have no friends. Have you been informed? Have you been keeping up? You can't have friends right now. You can't have friends. Man, just look at the dynamic here. Please, man, I gotta go. I gotta go. I mean, off the audio, because this is, you are smarter. Put it together. Does it look like the person who looks like you, who wield power, is showing them any love? Well, why the hell would you think that they gonna love what looks like them? Come on, man. And would you have me step down so that you can entertain on a more honorable and innocent, um, threat threat-free lifestyle? Should I be the one to stop? Should I be the one to stop? Maybe it's my fault that they don't like you. Maybe it's my fault that all of this shit is going on in Black life. Would that be the case, sir? Would that be the case? Anyway, stay your asses alive, man. I mean, listen, man. Everybody kill you, dude. Everybody tried to kill me too. So we're in a similar situation. They did kill me. Then they killed my ass over and over. Then they killed my ass 6 more times in just the last 10 motherfucking years, 15 years, man. Okay? Do that sound like we friends? We at war. Okay? And I have, let me bite my tongue one before one self-incriminates. But you at war. You don't have to choose it. It's going to come to you. You should know by now that you're at war because you are the casualties. You are the casualties. And damn, you dying young. You ain't even in the fight yet. Dude, you're important. You are important to God's plan. You damn sure is important to my plan. We'd like to have you very much fucking alive. And if you must die, you know, things happen, but you should not be a soft target or put yourself into situations where the people can kill you if they just want to do it. If they just want to. Ever. Ever. Enjoy the rest of your night. I am Source. I am 7. I am 1.